Good morning. It is Wednesday, the 11th of October, 2023. We're just soon approaching a very powerful, a very healing total solar eclipse in Libra in a few days' time. So we're in this like waning moon, balsamic period of letting things go. With eclipses, there's always an energy of change and transformation. There, when you live in like a cyclical way, when you don't just go for like from A to B, and you learn and you grow and you work with the moon, the eclipses are like really powerful, bigger versions of a lunar cycle. So they have a lot more momentum. And because of that, when we come to these points, when a new eclipse is about to happen, we can find that quite dramatic shifts happen in our lives, or the people around us. We can often see that big shifts are happening for them consciously or unconsciously. So, I just wanted to express the shift that's happening for me, is that I have set this intention to go live regularly to talk about themes that are useful for daily life for anyone, really. But really, as my experience so far is in hairdressing, really, I'm speaking a lot to people who work in the hairdressing industry. This is all very new, so I do not expect to have many participants watching live. But this is a beautiful way to just pop the videos up afterwards, and a beautiful way for me to let go of perfection and just go for it. So anybody who's watching the recording, what I'm going to do is I just want you to close your eyes and just listen to this mantra and just tune into anything that you're holding on to, that you need to let go of, or if there's something, a person, a job, a place, a habit, whatever, an attitude. Just have a little moment with this mantra and just feel into what it is that you're letting go of at the moment. And then we'll come back and talk a little bit about death. Okay, I'm coming back. Um, I really like this mantra. I found it really useful in the summer, and I was going through quite a big change. Not this summer, last summer, and I think it was one of the first mantras that I learned and embodied. I find that mantra is actually really grounding for me to learn it and to be able to recite it. And yeah, it really felt like it gave me some sort of security as I was going through a particularly big shift in my own transformation and change. So yeah, like I feel like death comes up quite. This is a death defeating mantra. Let me just translate it for you. So it's Om Triambakam Yajamahe, Secundum Pushti Vardanan, Uvarukamiva Bandanan, Mrityu Mukshi Yam Amritat. And it's a Hindu mantra. It translates as, we worship Lord Shiva, the free-eyed one, the one who is the master of all senses and qualities, and the one who is the sustainer of all growth. May he release us from the bondage of death, just as a ripened cucumber is released from its stalk, and may he grant us immortality. So, I like the cucumber reference as well, because, when they're ready, they just drop off like effortlessly. And yeah, this is something that we, as humans, haven't really been taught, haven't really, don't really get any, like, allow any discussion for, and death and letting go and the process of change is something that we're guaranteed to come across in our lives daily, like all the time, whether it's physical death, the loss of a loved one, the loss of a pet, whether it's like the ending of a job, of a relationship, of a chapter of your life. It's something that we will have to face at some point, and there's no preparation for it. And I find this sort of troubling, really, that I've witnessed quite a lot of people who have either experienced death or not of themselves. Like, I don't know anybody, I don't think. Oh, maybe one person that's had a out of body experience. But what I mean is, like, losing somebody dear to them, or some people that have been supporting families that have lost loved ones. And it's sort of ricochets around my mind, this thing that we're we're so unprepared for it. We're so, like, detached from, and, like, it's just so taboo that we don't talk about death, that actually the people, if you were to experience loss and grieve in some way, quite often the people that you thought were your really close friends freak out and, like, kind of detach themselves from you because they don't know what to say or what to do. So this is, like, really unhealthy and it can make the experience so much more painful and lonely. So, if somebody is very spiritual, your spirituality will really help you through that process. But yeah, I'm going off piste. But yeah, so daily, we need to let go as well. We need to like shed the stuff that we're holding on to. when we breathe, like we're breathing in life force energy, and we're like taking the air in. And when we exhale, we're letting go. So really we're going through this cycle of like life. When you hold your breath, you sustain the life, and then when you exhale, you're letting go. You have an eliminating process through your breathing. So I have a little practice in the morning where I kind of speak to they're called vayus, like speak to three of my vayus. The prana at the heart center is like giving me life. So as I inhale, give me life. As I hold my breath, maintain me. And as I let go, as I exhale, let me live. So you're able to live because you're able to eliminate stuff and you're able to let go. So, when you breathe, so if you breathe in, you're breathing in life force energy. As you hold your breath, that's your prana, that's vayu. As you hold your breath, you're working with your udana. I'll have to get that word correct. It's a different vayu. It sits at the throat chakra, and it's the maintainer of our energy. It allows us to process stuff, and to learn and to communicate. And then as we exhale, we're working with our apana, which is our eliminating force. So, with this practice with yoga, you can learn how to balance these energies, and learn how to come into a better harmony. So if your prana and your apana are out of balance, you won't be able to function so well in the world. And as a hairdresser, and I'd like to talk to hairdressers about these sort of tools which would be really useful for daily life in the salon. I'm noticing more and more it's becoming a topic of conversation. There's lots of great memes on Instagram that kind of highlight the struggles we have as hairdressers at the end of the day. I go to work on the train, and I'm like, full of life, and getting like lots of correspondence done, and feeling, upbeat and energized. And then the difference is quite dramatic. On the train home, I'm sort of like this. And literally can't do anything. I'm like completely, wiped. And this is from working in a salon where, in the old tradition of being back to back, juggling heads, like chaotic. It's very, very challenging on my energy body, on my physical body. And I need to recover from that sort of experience, and I use yoga and I use meditation and I use nature to recover. So but there's always certain things that are more difficult to let go of, and sometimes this will be because you need to learn something from it. And sometimes this is because, this pushes a button in you that requires a little bit more effort. So, what sort of ways can we let go in the evening when we finished our day, like when, or if we have something that we're finding really difficult to detach from, what sort of tricks and tools help to let go? So meditation definitely is one of them. Used to be for me, like, and a very traditional way for hairdressers to release and to, let go and to offload, because generally, in not always and not with all clients, but you're holding space for people, and they quite often, you're touching their head in a somatic way. You touch someone's head and they go, huh, they just, amount of times I've heard people say, I don't know why I'm telling you this. And it's like a natural response to talk and to offload. And this is an honor to hold that space, and to a privilege that they've put their trust in you. And you really, this is a trust. You really need to trust someone when you put your head in their hands. So it is a real honor. It's also a big responsibility. So we're holding like quite a lot in just in that throughout our day, with multiple people, potentially 5 days a week. And when you think about, how that would look as, in physically, that would become very, very heavy. And I feel like a lot of us, I used to think that the problems with my neck and my shoulders were purely because my arms are up like this. And yeah, that's got a part to play in it, but it's also, we carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. So, a lot is like kind of energetically stored there, I believe. So in the evening, a good way to let go is to do some physical exercise, to move your body. Um, you don't um, you don't really do the work in your mind. Like, it's much better to not attach your mind to it, and to dedicate a practice, whether it's a meditation, moving meditation, or dance. It's releasing through movement or through sound. Chanting is also a really good way to release and let go. um, it's a healthier way to release and let go than to only look at things with your intellect and your mind. Is that it plays a part as well, like it plays a function to analyze and learn from our triggers, from our responses to things. But equally, if you just look at it, it's not going anywhere. And this is why I really believe in yoga and in somatic practices like shaking, or dance has been an incredible way of releasing old stuff for me. I found it really powerful. So and breath work, which is also a really good practice. There's plenty, actually. One of one of the ways I would, if I had a problem or something that I was fixated on, or am fixated on, and I can't, like, I feel a bit like consumed by it and can't see a way out. One of my favorite things to do is to go and visit a particular tree, Scots pine tree, all year round, green, and able to. I find this particular tree really useful for putting things in perspective for me. I don't think I've ever walked away from that tree feeling the same. Like, I always go there and come away thinking, oh yeah, oh, it's really not that big a deal. It puts things into a perspective that allows me to see that the issue really doesn't need to consume this much of my life. So really, the art of letting go can be done many ways, and there is no one rule for everyone. But it is important to acknowledge that the more you you keep filling up with, like, the more you hold, the more you take from the world, whether it's your boss or whether it's your clients, or whether, because the service industry also, we've got to put on this, a friendly face. I don't want to go and have a service with somebody and just listen to all their problems. So I do put on a mask for my clients. Like, I do want them to feel like it's their time. And I don't think that I only think that's unhealthy if I don't acknowledge why I'm doing it, and I don't allow myself the recovery time and the therapy for myself afterwards. So yeah, so it's a really, I think I'm starting this sort of live business here to talk about different topics. Letting go will probably be a regular feature. I just felt like this morning, oh, there's my cat wanting me to open the door. You all right, Monty? He can wait. Yes, I kind of got drawn to a book on my bookshelf this morning, and I thought I'm going to read a bit from it. It's called The Book of Dharma. I got this years ago when I went to an ashram in Glastonbury, and one of the girls who was doing the kirtan in the morning read from it, and it had a really strong impact on me. So I bought the book, and it's a really simple, really beautifully described look at the principles of Dharma, the four main principles of Dharma, quite easy to digest. They are purity, non-violence, and discipline, and truth. Yeah. So this is about discipline, and the thing about self-care is that sometimes it's not that easy, and we have to apply a little bit of effort to it to come into a place with ourselves. So this is from the chapter about discipline, and I'll put the name of the book in the comments below. Living with a burning heart. Discipline is about subjecting ourselves willingly to fire. However, fire here doesn't mean pressure exerted on us by others against our will. Rather, it means the fire of spontaneity and passion that burns in our inner chamber of our being. When that fire of life burns with fierce intensity, it can manifest our purpose. It can make the impossible possible. But if we are continually avoiding inner intensity in our life, we will never become the diamond we are capable of becoming. When we live with a burning heart, whatever we do feels effortless. Our life becomes an authentic expression of who we are. Living is no longer a burden, but a privilege. In nature, everything happens effortlessly without straining. The rivers don't work against their own process as they flow into the sea. The grass doesn't strain to grow. We, however, are always straining. We work against ourselves. Discipline is therefore not simply about doing a lot, but about doing what accords with the law of our being. What we do then enlivens us rather than saps us of our strength. It's easy to find people who are striving ceaselessly, but it's rare to find someone who is able to act from a place of vitality and discernment. The simplest definition of discipline is to give our very best by body, words, and minds. If we are not burning with fire within us, we can give our body our best only for a day or two. We will not be able to sustain what we do. It's therefore important to protect the fire of life. We need to guard it against the forces that would stifle and suffocate it. Thus, discipline requires purity, which is to nurture and protect our world. The oxygen of this fire within us is inner freedom. When we cultivate inner freedom, the unobstructed fire of life begins to burn fiercely. Discipline manifests the best in us. When we truly follow the Dharma principle of discipline, we listen to our burning heart without pride or fear of failure. Human beings are capable of extraordinary things. If we really want to do something, we always find a way. If we don't, we find an excuse. So, discipline doesn't need to be getting up at 4 a.m. and doing a 2-hour sadhana every day. It doesn't need to be like a a big thing. It's prioritizing your well-being, prioritizing your path, and your health, so that you can show up in the world um, with more vitality, with more ease. So giving yourself a little practice each day to let go of what happened yesterday, or to let go of any anger, any resentment, any sadness. There's so much that that we could choose to let go of each day. And yeah, just giving yourself, even if it's 6 minutes, 6-minute meditation, this is gonna be providing you with a message that you are dedicated to yourself, that you are prioritizing yourself. Anybody who says that they don't have time for 6 minutes a day is not prioritizing themselves, because you can always find that time in your day. You'll make it. If you want to, you'll make it. So I'm going to end this stream now. Nobody came on and watched live, and that's totally fine. And I'm really pleased to be able to come on and talk, and then upload the video afterwards for anyone who wants to come back to it later. On Monday morning, I will be teaching a short but powerful and easy kriya for balancing prana and apana. So balancing the life force energy that comes in with the eliminating energy that goes out, so that we can come into a more harmonious balance with our energy bodies. So join me on Monday if you like for that kriya. If not, you'll find the recording up and uploaded on Monday as well, to come back to at another date. Satnam and blessed be. Ending the stream.